Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it might be. My name is Sean, and I'm delighted you're joining us for today's ESPC community webinar. Today, I'm joined by Katrina and Artem, who are both MVPs, who will cover prompt flow evaluation in practice, metrics, mistakes, and meaningful results. We love hearing you guys have to say, so remember to join in the conversation about today's webinar and more on X. Our handle is at ESPC_community, and our hashtag is hashtag ESPC25. Tweet us, tag us, and tell us what you learned. Don't forget to check out our Learning Hub, which is updated with the latest blogs, ebooks, webinars, and how-to videos. You can access and view the Learning Hub by visiting our website, sharepointeurope.com, and clicking Content tab at the top. At ESPC 25, we're going all in on AI, with expert-led sessions covering Azure AI Foundry, AI agents, responsible AI, generative AI, Copilot, and AI in SharePoint. This is your chance to learn directly from top experts and Microsoft MVPs, driving the future of AI and productivity. Scan the QR code on the screen and use the code Azure AI Week 200 to receive €200 off your ESPC 25 ticket. As always, if you have any questions at any stage, feel free to type in the questions box and Katrina and Artem will get to them during the webinar. This webinar will be recorded and added to the Resource Center, where you'll be notified by email when it is available. And now I'm going to pass you over to today's webinar presenters, Katrina and Artem. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Sean.
Perfect. Yeah, I can see your screen. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being there with us or looking at the recording of this meeting. Just get small expectations what to expect from the session. We will start from the short introduction in the evaluation for generative AI models. Why, when, what we have to measure, what is important, what's the key metrics, and so on. We are focused on the beginners who are just starting their journey with AI. Later, we will go to the deep dive demo, going with prompt flow evaluation, our very good tool, which I think about 1 year already with us, and to expansion to the new tools such as AI Foundry evaluation and the short demo of AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code. We are focusing mostly on low-code or no-code implementation, which are available for everyone, and we can start. Just a few words about ourselves. Kate, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining our session today or watching the recording. My name is Katerina Chernevskaya. I'm BizOps MVP and working as a Power Platform architect at KPMG, which basically means that my days are spending transforming complex business needs into something that actually works. And over several few years, I'm focusing on implementing the integration between low-code Power Platform solutions and Azure AI stuff. So that's why I'm here today. And I'm constantly speaking in different worldwide offline and online events, somewhere we would probably meet or already met. So yeah, if you would like to say hi or have any chat, feel free to contact me via LinkedIn or whenever it is convenient. And yeah, thank you very much for joining. Over to you, Artem.
Thank you, Kate. I just can say that I'm the husband of the Kate, and that should be enough, I think. Yes, but anyway, let's give a few words about ourselves. We are so-called Microsoft family, so we have met in Microsoft when we were full-time employees. That was many, many years ago. I can share the exact number right now, just because Kate would not be so happy about it. But anyway, yes, we are working with Microsoft platform for many years, and that's why we are there. We can share our expertise. Please contact us on LinkedIn or anywhere where you want to do it. Okay, what's the big, bold vision for this session? Why we are there? We are part of building trust in generative AI applications. especially for corporate sector. That's the main idea. Of course, evaluation is just a small piece of this big strategy approach. If you want to know more about Microsoft implementation, please reference to Responsible AI Transparency Report. It was just published by Microsoft version 2. A lot of information how Microsoft invent, develop, protect, and implement the solution. So their compliance, security, and so on. Our focus is evaluation of generative AI applications through all the life cycle, where we are starting the evaluation of models. Right now, when artificial intelligence with us for a few years, we are not just evaluating somewhere. There is specific stages in our project when we have to evaluate it. First of all, we are selecting the base model especially for our task. So, for example, we have some bot for healthcare, or we want some small bot for, I don't know, hotel management system, and everything else, depending from the task, depending from the compliance and security, depending from the industry, multi-language support, and many different areas, and especially cost and speed of the solution, we have to choose our base model. That's why we are testing different base models, not just reflecting on the publicity available benchmarks, but we have to do our own evaluation tailored to our task, to our segment. Then after we build our AI solution, we have to check not only the model by itself, but all our prompts, implementations, and other things. So we have to evaluate the overall solution. And at last but not least, also we have to evaluate post-production. It's continuous monitoring of processes and how it's working, how it's updated, and so on. What's the most typical tasks for monitoring? What can happen if we wouldn't monitor, wouldn't evaluate our system? First of all, of course, hallucinations, AI hallucinations, when it fabricates some results which are not grounded by our files, data, and so on. Some answers are totally right, but they are not coherent to the user's request. Yeah, so right answer, but for wrong question, for different questions, and so on. And of course, a lot of harmful content can be generative AI plays more significant role in our business, in our lives, and that's why our requests for its quality and predictability is rises. So it's really important. Of course, it can be dangerous in spreading misinformation if we are trusting in some hallucinated results. And of course, some techniques of prompt injection, sometimes our users are not so good. They're trying to do something bad with our system. So we have to be able to react on special security exploits which are tailored to large language models. Regarding big cycle, just a bit more about post-deployment validation. Now LLMOps, large language model operation system, becomes a part of our development operations. So when we are implementing AI solution, there is a really new software development lifecycle where we have to experiment, evaluate, and with each release, with each push of our solution, we have to do all the tasks again. Even if you don't do any updates, so you have great solution, yes, it's working very good. Also, you have to monitor it on regular basis. Why? Some regression can be even if you don't do any changes. From my funny story from our real project, we were working with one big hotel chains, building a bot which were helping the hotel guests, to find the good rooms, ask about swimming pools, everything. You got this idea, so this is just concierge bot. One day, Microsoft improved the solution, and especially content filter. Now it's AI content safety. Yes, so this special screen what is very useful working with harmful content and so on, and all questions regarding living in one room with a child, with animals, becomes were stopped, just really stopped by improved content filter. So even if you don't do anything, vendor always improve the solution, improve the security, and sometimes it can influence your solution, so you have to be aware before your users will be aware. Many other options. So, for example, deploying model, I think that you are choosing the checkbox to update model to the most current version. I do recommend it, and of course it means that when we are working, for example, with OpenAI models, the model by itself can be different. And of course, if you are using retrieval algorithm generation, so your AI model is tailored to the documents of your users. Users can change document, and sometimes it happens a rug shift. So with some time passed, answers becomes not so good just because the document formats, the actual information can be changed. Yep, so you can use GitHub Actions, or you can use Azure DevOps for implementing the special evaluation steps in your pipeline management process. Okay, what we have to measure, so we understand where, when we have to measure this evaluation process, but what? Of course, first of all, we were starting with the regular measurements metrics for natural language processing, quite the same. But large language model is different, and with sometimes it produces new, more interesting metrics. More than 20 metrics are built in already for you in Azure AI Foundry, and you can use them according to special areas such as self-harm, violent, jailbreak, and other options. They are divided on 7 main groups or categories. I will speak about 4 of them. This is general purpose evaluators and metrics, which are universal and can be applied to different domains. Textual similarity evaluators, when we are trying to understand how this question is similar to the question provided by our internal experts, which we think is the best answer. That's really good for, I don't know, customer service or other options when we expect very clear, precise, and predefined answers. Everything regarding retrieval algorithm generation, of course, they have their own metrics, and risk and safety evaluators, which are according to AI responsibility principles. Also, there are 3 other categories. First of all, it's agent evaluators. This year is year of agents. You can hear about AI agent everywhere, fleet of agents, and of course, they have their special metrics such as tools and others. OpenAI is leading company in producing large language model. All this revolution, I think that will start from OpenAI, and in Azure there are some specific metrics for this particular model, such as GPT-5, which is also available in Azure. And you can build your own custom evaluators if you don't satisfied with these built-in solutions. I don't want to speak about each metric, but I want to give you attention on some interesting points of that. So, in general purpose, interesting metric is intent resolution. This is understanding how the answer correlated to the question. Were the model able to understand real intent of our user. What's this question about? GPT-5 showing a really better results in intent resolution. That's interesting point. We can speak also about task adherence. So if intent is going about understanding the question, task adherence about qualities of the answer. And in adherence, we can measure, for example, groundedness. This is about facts based on your documents or on built-in knowledge. Fluency, how fluent is the answer, how it's human-like, so how it's good, sounds good. Coherence, this is inner logic, how logical is answer by itself, so how it's situated. Similarity is how it's similar to the predefined answer, and in similarity we can speak about old Blair score when it's just measured word by word, or with some adoption, or even new score which is available through the modern large language models. It's Meteor score. In Meteor score, it's understand about synonyms and other things. So Meteor is much more about sense, not just about exactly words, when we are speaking about similarity. Yes, so in RAG, we think about such options as wholes, for example, the facts which were missed when we were preparing the answer. And fidelity, response completeness, this is parameters which are explaining how good internal data were processed, and max relevance is how much relevant documents were produced for us. Risk and safety evaluators, really there are two types of them. One of them just inside the model, if we are speaking about OpenAI model, and the other is additional content safety filter, which can work outside of model. And this two-level protection give us really good security, protected from not so good content. Okay, I hope that it was not so boring, but just give you an idea of evaluators. There are many information of Microsoft Learn portal regarding these metrics, exactly how they count and the benchmarking and so on. Now I want to transfer the stage to the Kate for first demo, prompt flow evaluation, and also Azure AI found a new variant of evaluation, which is available now in portal. Kate, the stage is yours.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. So let me share my screen. And please tell me when you will be able to see it.
Yep,
okay.
I can see your screen. Azure AI Foundry.
Oops. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, as Arto mentioned, the first hour demonstration will be around the evaluation of the prompt flow. I assume that everyone on this call or who are watching this recording are aware about how to prepare a prompt flow. This is basically the number of steps that you would like to proceed from the input that user provide to the LLM model or to the AI solution to the output. For this demo purpose, we got a very simple prompt flow based on the templates available in the Azure AI Foundry, just joke generation. And I would like to show you how you can evaluate your prompt flow, even if it is a very simple prompt flow or it's more complicated with a lot of steps. First thing that you need to be aware of is evaluation can be launched only when your compute session is running. So I already pre-launched this compute session for our demonstration because it takes several minutes to proceed. So once your computer session is running, you can go to the evaluate, open this drop-down menu and select custom evaluation. Here you can specify whatever you would like to evaluate in your prompt flow. First of all, we can change display name of our evaluation that will be visible later on, and we can sort, we can find this run of evaluation later on based on this display name. For this demo purpose, I leave as is. So you can also add description for your colleagues, for an example, for which purpose you run this evaluation, what kind of metrics you incorporate in this evaluation, etc. And create some text. Then we click next, and we can select predefined data set if we already have some sort of data set available in our Azure AI Foundry. Maybe someone deployed, upload this data set for you, or you uploaded in the past this data set. Or another option, you can create a new data set by your own and then add this new data set from your laptop, from your PC. Pay attention that your data set for evaluation should be in JSON-L format, or CSV or TSV format, so other formats are not allowed. Once you upload or select any predefined data set, you can see preview of top 5 rows from your data set here in the bottom. Even if you have 50 rows, 100 rows in your data set, you will see just 5 first rows, and you can identify if everything is okay and everything displays correctly in your data set. And also on this screen, you need to make input mapping. What I mean here is that different prompt flows could have different input parameters. For instance, in this demonstration, we are using chat-based prompt flow. That means we must have at least 2 input parameters: chat history, where all context about previous conversation is storing, and question, basically the last question or last input that user provides to our AI solution. So we need to map with the columns from our data set. We can just expand this drop-down list and select correct column. For this demonstration, it's predefined, identified pretty well. So for our chat history, it matched with chat history column, obviously. And for question variable for input, it mapped with question column in our data set as well. So we are satisfied with these results, and we can click next. And on this screen, we can select different metrics that we are going to use in our evaluation. So you can see there are 9 metrics, and by selecting or deselecting, you can choose what metrics you would like to use in your evaluation run. When you select that metrics that you need, on the next screen, you need to specify parameters for each concrete metric, and parameters could be different. Let's see what parameters could be. The first parameter is the data set, and you need to be sure that this data set is exactly the same that you selected on the step 2. So if you select another data set, some errors could occur, obviously. After that, you need to select other columns. For example, here for classification, I need some columns in my data set for ground truth and for prediction. I do not have them, so I can just simply go back and probably deselect this. So this is classification. I do not need this metric. And this metric gone from my list. For F1 score, which basically measure the number of shared words between answer generated by LLM and my expected answer, my ground truth. So for these metrics, I have columns in my data set. The answer, it will be the answer generated by my LLM model, by my prompt flow. So this answer is located in the answer variable under output under the run. So it doesn't come from my data set, from my Excel file, JSON-L file. So this is like an output of my prompt flow. And for ground truth, I can select the column in my data set, this column name expected answer. So I would like to compare the answer that I expect with the answer that model generates and see the score from 0 to to 1. And here again, I can preview my data set. So by the same approach, I can select all parameters that I need for other metrics that I already selected. And for some evaluation metrics like GPT similarity, I also sometimes need to select a model that I am going to use for this evaluation. For GPT similarity, I'm going to use GPT-5 model, or I can switch to another model that already I pre-deployed here in Azure AI Foundry. And for groundness, I need to select a context. Let's say it could be chat history, so the context that I provided about the previous conversation between user and AI system. And again, I need to select the model. Once everything configured, I see these green marks, and I can proceed and launch click submit and launch this evaluation. The evaluation took several minutes, several times. So in this case, in our demonstration, I'm not going to submit. I'm just going to show you where you can find the outputs of this evaluation and how you can work with them. On the prompt flow level, you can go to runs, and here you can see all runs that you did. So I prepared for our demonstration this. This one is the first run that executes your prompt flow to generate model answers. And these answers will be leveraging later on to, for example, GPT similarity, to evaluate coherence, etc., etc. If you would like to see details about any runs, for example, for GPT similarity, you can open this run. First of all, you will see the prompt flow that was automatically generated for this evaluation purpose. You can explore and learn how it was configured. And you can go to the View Output tab and see how GPT similarity for each row, what score each row took. So the 5 is maximum, which means that answer is very similar with our ground truth, and 1 is means that it's not similar at all. So 2, 3, 4, it's somewhere between. So you can explore. Additionally, on the run page here, you can select different runs. For example, we would like to compare GPT similarity, F1, and probably relevance, and we would like to visualize this output. And on one screen, we can see all these scores and how this rows was evaluated and scored against the different evaluators. So you can see by rows and aggregated metrics. So this is the first demonstration how you can evaluate your prompt flows. But if you would like to use more metrics, because we saw here it was like a limited list of metrics evaluators that you can use, you can go to the evaluator library and let's see how it works. So in the AI Foundry, Azure AI Foundry, you can go to the evaluation. Please pay attention that it's still in the preview, but it is a very good opportunity to learn how it is working. And once it will be in the general availability, you will be ready to incorporate in your production solutions. This, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you mention the target objects or target prompt LLM orchestrators which can be evaluated with prompt flow evaluation and with Azure AI Foundry evaluation? That's the difference. I think it will be interesting for the audience.
Yeah, I think your question is related about the AI Foundry project, Foundry-based and Hub-based. Do you mean this?
Yes, just because it's Microsoft right now in transition, yes, from prompt flow evaluation to Azure AI Foundry evaluation. One is deprecated according to the information on the Microsoft portal, but deprecated does mean that it stopped work, yes, from general availability for 12 months. and other in preview. Yes, just to mention, so our auditory can check the difference. Yes, that strike difference between tool for prompt flow evaluation and between the tool for new AI agents, models, but not for prompt flow. Yep, sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, absolutely. A very good addition, and thank you very much for mentioning it. So if we are talking about prompt flow and prompt flow evaluation, prompt flow currently available in the Azure AI Foundry projects that are hub-based. So that's why if you are going to evaluate prompt flow, what we saw in the first demonstration, this is a hub-based. But if you would like to go deeper or more comprehensive and evaluate what Artem said, agents, etc., it is necessary to create a project like Foundry-based, and that's what I'm going to show you in the next demonstration. And in this Foundry-based project, evaluation is still in the preview, but it has more evaluators and more flexibility, providing you to evaluate. Yeah. Any additions, Artem?
No, thank you, Kate. You clarify everything very well.
Okay. So let's proceed with this evaluation that we have in our Foundry-based project. And here on the evaluation page, first of all, you have this tip for you, evaluation process. You begin with the creating the evaluation data, like prepare them, and also you can use the simulator. I'm going to show you how to create or craft your data set with questions and answers here inside this evaluation page. You need to identify metrics and select appropriate set of metrics that you would like to incorporate in your evaluation flow, analyze the result, maybe revise, maybe adjust prompts or model parameters, whatever you can improve according to results that you got, and perform additional evaluation and compare results, the new result and previous results, to analyze how your changes improve or affect the performance and answers of your model, of your application or agent. So let's see step by step how it's working. We are going to start with new evaluation. Here we can proceed with already existing query response data set if we have, or we can continue to evaluate a model. And here we have this nice option. If you are lazy or maybe you do not have any data set, you can select simulate questions, and you can ask GPT model to create question set for you. To ask the model, you need to specify a question topic. Let's say it will be about coaching. So I put it here, and then you need to provide a prompt, like some sort of instruction, how the model should behave, what it should do, etc. I have a very short description just for demonstration purpose. You can select a model that you would like to utilize to generate this set of questions and answers. If you don't see a required model here, you can deploy the required one right from there. And you can simply click generate, and magic should happen, and question and answer should be generated for you. I would like to pay attention that 5 rows, 5 question and answer pairs will be generated in this approach, but it should be enough to start testing and start evaluating. While it's generating, one addition I would like to mention: beside the topic and system prompt, you also can specify some example, like user question and assistant answer, and this will be taken into account when the model will generate question and answer set for you. So the question and answers already generated, and you can review them here. If you do not satisfied with the response, you can change the topic, you can change the system prompt, you can add messages and ask for regeneration of this number of question and answers, or you can proceed next And what is the good thing? Once the evaluation will be started, this set of question and answers will be stored in your Azure Blob Storage account, and you will be able to reuse this data set later on. So we proceed, and here we can select the criteria, our evaluators. Here you can see that evaluators are grouped or classified in three categories, like AI quality, string check, and ensure safe and ethical content. The first one is for general overall quality and coherence. For the content, and for this evaluation, usually you need deployed an LLM model as a judge. String check, it's again about the overall quality measurement and evaluation, but this is mathematical based, like here we can have F1, etc. And the last one focuses on the identifying the potential content risk and ensure that content that the model generate is safe. So you can select whatever you would like. Let's see how it works. So for example, for model scorer, you can select auto grader, or you can select customer grader, and in this case you will need to provide the system prompt. We can explore auto grader, and with predefined prompt we can see that these comprehensive instructions how to rate and evaluate our responses that model generated. At the end, you will need to provide some sort of inputs and outputs where it is storing. So our input are storing in the item.question. The column name is question, so that's why we can copy from here. This is a tooltip basically, and very helpful because it's explain what kind of columns you can use. And our output is located in the item answer, or you can just delete it right there and just typing. So here I would like to select item answer. So basically this is our column. The range, the minimum is 0, the maximum is 7, and we can set up, configure our threshold, so passing range, and simply can add. So the same approach could be used for string check. Again, by the way, here we can as well select the model, and we can select different models for different evaluators for different metrics. So here we can use, for example, answer, and if we have like a ground truth or expected answer in our data set, so probably we can select here as well and use different match operators. And for safety, we can select different parameters as well. So this is our query, for example, question. This is our response, and passing range as well. So once you specify everything, you click next, and on the last screen, you review again what you put here and submit, and evaluation starts. What I would like to show you, again, I do not want to start this evaluation because it takes time. I already predefined some evaluation. And here you can see completed evaluation in this status, if they already done, or if it's starting or pending or in the process, you will see a different status, so you can identify the evaluation status right there. On the right-hand side, you can see the metrics that you selected, grouped in 3 categories that we discussed, and overall, like cumulative result of these metrics. For example, for this run, I selected only fluency, and overall, I have 80%, which is not good, not bad. So I need to make some improvements. For this run, I selected only NLP metrics, which is 1 score. So here I have 0, here I have 7. And for some runs, I selected risk and safety metrics. Some runs need some improvements, some runs quite okay. If you would like to go deeper and identify what rows generate which score and how it was accumulated, you can select run. For example, let's select this one. Firstly, you are navigating to the report page where the accumulative metrics represent. So valence is like in yellow mode, the hate and unfairness is in green mode, so you can identify. And on the data layer, on the data page, you can see row by row what was happened and where we fail our evaluation, where we pass our evaluation. And additionally, on the evaluation page, what you can do also, you can compare. So you can see here the compare metrics. Let's say we had this run with awful results and we need to have some improvements. Let's say we investigate what improvements we need to implement in our solution. And after we complete this implementation, we run again a new evaluation with the same questions, but the LLM generate another responses and we can compare. So let's say that we can compare this one and this one. Click compare button. We can collapse this. And here you can see, first of all, overview between baseline, our first run, and the second run. As I remember, up to 5 runs you can select and they will be presenting right here. And you can show only difference, which means only row where we have difference between 2 runs will be visible here, or you can deselect and all available metrics will be visible for you. So you can see the overall statistics and then you can go row by row. So in the first run, let's say we have high valence, which means very bad. After improvement of our solution, we have very low valence, which is 0, which is good. And also you have reason when LLM explain you why this score was provided to this evaluation. So for each row, you can investigate and you can see these evaluation results deeper. And you can go back to show in the list, and these are your evaluations. Yeah. So Artem, do you want to add something, or you can proceed with your demonstration?
Thank you, Kate. It was great demonstration. Yes, I do love and so fast speed, a lot of details. Yes, and it was very insightful. Thank you very much. I'm ready to continue. Yep. I think that
question in actually. There's just a question in. Very dangerous to have such objectivity in some AI applications. There is a need to practice and apply equity, not scored behavior.
I think that I will address this question in my next demonstration. Yes.
Perfect.
So let's keep in touch. Yes, thank you for the question. That's really great. I will do one more demonstration when we will show how we can use extension for Visual Studio Code to make the evaluation of prepared AI application. And if this question will still be on there with us, so then please just add in chat additional details and we will go deep dive to answer it. But thank you for questions. That's really great question. Okay, I'm ready to share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see demo. Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So thank you, Kate. Once again, you have shown us prompt flow evaluation on Microsoft. So this is special evaluation for prompt flow. Prompt flow is the Microsoft orchestrator for LLM models, which can combine some Python code, which can combine some LLM tools, prompts, and to make your solution. And we were working with prompt flow for 1 year. That's really great, and evaluation was the part of it. Yes. Also in preview, you have shown new Azure AI Foundry evaluation. Portal part. Also, it's available Azure AI Foundry Evaluation SDK, which can be accessed through the code. and it's on preview right now. So right now, maybe there are many questions just because this shift transition from legacy evaluation system to the new systems which were announced by Microsoft. We have checked all of them, and everything is changing very fast right now. I think that we will hear some announcement in next large Microsoft conference. But as for now, my preferable choice is AI Agent Toolkit for Visual Studio Code evaluation, and I want to show you why. Of course, we are using Visual Studio Code, but as we mentioned in this session, we are focusing on audience from beginners with low-code approach. Okay, let's see on this. So yes, we are in Visual Studio Code, but don't be afraid, we wouldn't write any line of code during this session. Inside Visual Studio Code, you can, first of all, you have to go to extensions and then find AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code extension. It's also in preview, everything in preview because it's AI, yes, and you have to install it. After you have installed it, you will see this option, AI Toolkit, and you can switch to it. And there we have a lot of interesting options. First of all, we can work with different models, such models which are deployed on GitHub. We can work with models from AI Foundry, just we have checked it right now, and also even with the models which are deployed locally on your laptop, if of course your laptop supported, you have GPU or other things. So we can connect to model catalog, and you can see there many variants, and now we can see that model catalog is loading. Inside it, you have Playground to check your solutions. You have Agent Builder. It seems to me that it was named Prompt Builder just a few, I don't know, so some time ago, yes, where you can build your solution, test it. And what is interesting, especially for our session today, you have evaluation. Let's go deep dive in evaluation. In evaluation session, you can choose the list of available evaluators. And you can see there are all of them which were discussed in the first part of my meeting, of this presentation, with Meteor, with F1, score, relevance, coherence, and so on. You can, if it's needed, create your own evaluators also, and that there. But let's work with the standard one. For standard one, I have run evaluation, and you can see the result. So it was prepared for me the query, the ground truth, response, and we can see the metrics which were chosen for this evaluation, so the coherence score. I don't want to go deep dive, but that's just a few ideas. Yep, sorry, give me a second, some issue with webinar, that's okay. Right now, so the idea, if you want right now to evaluate your deployed solution, take a look on AI Toolkit, establish it, build your solution in Agent Builder or connect it, and just in Agent Builder, when it's needed, in Playground, you can go to evaluating your resources and to receive necessary information. Okay, that lets me return back to presentation. Yep, that's all. We are perfectly fit in time. We have some time for questions. I will stop the demonstration.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
So now get into the questions and answers part. Should you feel to wish to ask a question, put it in the questions box now. So one of the questions that came in is, how do you balance automated metrics like groundedness and fluency with human evaluation when measuring LLM performance?
Great question. I can share it. It's not a secret. One of the projects which we are working, this is for coaching company, for coaching industry, and there were a lot of questions regarding human likeness, about this metrics using automatic metrics and so on. We were started from automatic metrics, yes, with Fluence and others, but later we understand that it's too general for our specific topic, because when you are working with coaching audience, you know that don't give an answer or always ask a question. Yes, we can speak just about general metrics. We have to speak about special type of coaching speaking. Yes, that's why we were implemented our own 20 custom evaluators. So we quite different, and I would say that they are based on the different standards and recommendations for coaches, how they can work. So we are speaking mostly about executive coaching. Yes, and based on these evaluators, we made our own solution, and it gives really big difference. Yes, so especially for mobile app, and it's a lot of different parameters. So for example, for mobile app, you cannot give very big answers. Yeah, so your answer should be short but meaningful, insightful for user, and not give the direct answers, but leading them to discover these answers by themselves. Yes, so this is example where we cannot apply general metrics because we have very specific task. So my answer would be start with general automated metrics just for beginning, and you will be totally satisfied with them if you build, for example, some Q&A bot, some customer service bot, and so on. If your task is rather specific and you have some special requirements, take these standards, these recommendations for this special talk, build based on them your own custom evaluators, and go with them. Kate, do you want to add something?
No, I think that you explained very comprehensive. So just if we have any additional questions.
Yeah, just the next question is it possible to evaluate AI agent using prompt flow?
Kate, what do you like?
So yes, I would say that I would answer in this way. So basically, prompt flow is a sequence of steps, and one type of prompt flow is evaluation prompt flow. So basically, you can create your own prompt flow for evaluation for the agent, and you can put in this prompt flow whatever you need, specify any metrics, utilize built-in metrics, and create your own parameters, instructions, etc., whatever you need, and use it. Yeah, Artem, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I would like to add. So it's very difficult for you now. Look that we were showing 3 different instruments from Microsoft, quite similar interface, similar task, but they quite different. So that's why let's check. Let's different the apples from horses and so on. Yes. So when we are speaking about prompt flow evaluator, this is old evaluation designed especially for prompt flow 1 year ago when it wasn't any agents present. So by design, it is not graded for measuring the agents. But of course, you can do some adjustments to use it for measuring the agent. So you can, for example, call the agent from the Python snippet inside prompt flow and check overall results. It's not a big deal. It's rather easy. You can do it. That's one point. Second point, when we are moving to not prompt flow evaluator, but Azure AI Foundry project evaluator. Kate was showing it. This tool consists from 2 parts. Portal parts, just UI, and software development kit when you have to install its Visual Studio Code, install the SDK, install Python or your preferred language. I think it's C# and others supported. Install a simulator special, install special library for evaluation, and there you can do evaluations of agents directly. And it will be much more evaluators, more flexibility. It's professional point, and that's why we don't show this on these lectures, because time to value is rather long. You will take some time to install all these points. Everything in preview, maybe it will be later in portal, I don't know right now, but you can use so new Azure AI Foundry evaluator to evaluate the agents, but you will need the code first approach.
Perfect.
And last but not least, keep attention, we have a special agent, AI toolkit add-on extension for Visual Studio Code. I was showing it. Right now, it's able to connect to AI Foundry, it's able to connect to agents, and it's able to make the evaluation from the box. But also the devil in details. You have to check the agents, what agents, how you did these agents, with semantic kernel or with AI agents framework and so on. And depends of it, you can have some limitations, maybe. Yes, I can give you overall answer, but the directions for choosing the evaluations model will be there. So if you want something simple and don't think about it, and you can call your agent from Python snippet, go to prompt flow evaluator right now. If you if you are pro coder and you want to use a modern tool and very promising tool with a lot of evaluators, go to Azure AI Foundry SDK. Yes. If you want something between, try to play with AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code, and only if it will be limited by your particular task, then once again going to Azure AI Foundry SDK. Oh, sorry for this, don't blame me, that's from Microsoft, I'm just explaining.
Perfect. The next question is, in VS Code extension, can I evaluate GitHub model?
Great question. Yeah, I will try to answer. Please put some addition in the chat if I wasn't able. So GitHub model is model which is hosted on GitHub. Yes, it can be deployed. Based on it, you can build some agent inside extension for Visual Studio Code, and you can evaluate it. Yes, so you may ask what's the sense of evaluating base model deployed on GitHub for us, or what? We can do it because there are some versions. Yes, for example, O3 Mini, or maybe Microsoft Model 3 or other options. Yes, so when you want to find the balance between cost and between the accuracy for your particular task, it makes sense for you to evaluate even the base models from top vendors just to check the appropriate solution. Kate, do you want to add something? Maybe I missed some point in this question.
No, I think everything is okay. Yeah, because this is like a specific question for the VS Code. Yeah, like a benchmarking in VS Code. Yeah.
Perfect. The next question is, can you use your own hosted models by giving a URL to the model catalog and you add it with AI Toolkit?
It is once again great question. Yes, so you can step by step. What's your own model? You can create your own model from the scratch, upload it to Hugging Face, and through Hugging Face with some additions, it can be available to from the model catalog to everyone. That's one case. You can use it, and it will be quite the same model after approvals. It's not automatical. Not every model from Hugging Face is available in Azure Model Catalog, but that's the Streamway, one of them. Second point, you can use a base model or other model and fine-tune it with your question and answers. And this fine-tuned model also will be available to evaluate through the new Azure AI Foundry, even portal without SDK. That's really great case. Your fine-tuned model, your own model, will be able to evaluate. If by some reason you need to launch this model local, so your own model means that it's running on your machine. Of course, we don't speak about GPT-5. Yes, we are speaking about some small language, mostly small language models. Yes, then your best version is this extension to Visual Studio just because it has the option to work with local models. And as I know right now, Azure AI Foundry evaluation and of course Azure AI Prompt Flow evaluation, they're not capable to work with models which are hosted on your local machine.
Perfect. Yeah, that looks like all the questions. So on behalf of the ESPC community, we'd like to extend a big thank you to you again, Katrina and Artem, for taking time out to carry out this webinar. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Wayne, for invitation. Yes, thank you
Yes.
for questions. Yes, it was a nice event. Yes, so happy to be there. Thank you.
Amazing. So that's the end of today's webinar. You can find this webinar and more at sharepointeurope.com/research center. Thanks again for all of you who joined us today, and I hope you join us again soon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.